Hi everyone, so this is the review for the brand new reality show. It is called The Next 15. So series premiere, so season 1 episode 1, second chance at first impression. And so this show is directed, executive produced by Carlos King. As we know, he's done stuff like The Real Housewives and Hollywood Divas and now The Next 15. Now, here's the thing. He brought on Claudia. Claudia was the first person that he really wanted to enlist because they're both going to go and be co-executive producers. I guess that's how you'll say it. And so what's going on is they meet up, and it's, I guess, an impromptu meet up to talk about this loose idea of coming together to do a reality show. And Claudia talks about how Carlos actually really made her a big star because he said a year and a half ago he met her and it's like, you know what? I got something for you. I'm going to make you a star. And so she was like, okay. And as we know, she ended up on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, the thing was that she was on that show for one season and they didn't feel like she was bringing enough to the table because Claudia was kind of like the peacemaker almost. She was trying to be nice to everyone, and it backfired. They were being vicious. She was trying to be nice, and they were like, you know what? We don't see it for you. You're not coming back next week. And people also thought that she was just there to go after Nene Leakes, which wasn't the case. She stood up to Nene because for some reason no one else would. But, well, Candy always did. But you get what I'm saying. And so now she's trying to revitalize her career and also change her image and public perception. And that's the whole angle of this show. That's what they're trying to do with this show. They're trying to go and take people who were big reality stars and show another side to them. Show the other side that wasn't being showcased because the cameras were only fixated on maybe a good 5 or 10 minutes of them and their shenanigans and nothing else. So apparently from sun up to sundown, they have this long drawn out conversation about who they want on the show, who they want to be a part of it. And Carlos King is saying definitely Laura Govan. And she's like, oh yeah, definitely like her, pretty. She seems cool, that'll work. And so he's like, Benzino, you need some guys. So Benzino, she's like, oh yeah, I was accused of making out with him and being his girlfriend, but that was because I did a music video with him where we kissed. And so it's just like, that's the story of her life. He also says Jennifer Williams. She does not like Jennifer Williams. She thinks that Jennifer Williams is boring, is basic. She's just not feeling her. Jennifer feels the same way about Claudia. Well, the opposite. She feels like she's a hoe, that she's just always on the come up. Almost like Jennifer's up here and Claudia's down here. And I'm like, Jennifer, let's not work this angle. You don't want to be seen as bougie, so watch what you're saying now. We're glad that you're speaking up, but just hold off for a moment. But anyhow, so she has her own little show herself. It's called Black Lives something. Whatever it is. Oh, Black Hollywood Live. And it's cute enough. And she invites Laura. And Laura talks about her relationship and how she loved the guy. And it was basically like being on a drug. But when you're done, you're done. And the fallout was crazy. And so she was saying how... Jennifer was talking about how this email came out. Remember the email that exposed a lot of stuff in Laura's relationship? Well, yeah, she's being sued, so she can't talk about that. But Jennifer said, you know what? I'll do it for you. So, Laura, here's what happened in the email. You accused him of sleeping with Drea and being the baby's daddy to Drea's son. You accused him of sleeping with a close family member. And, what is it? Jennifer was like, well, with Gloria. And she was like, no, a close family member. And Jennifer was like, yeah, a close family member, Gloria. Also having STE. I mean, it was bad. It was really bad. And here's the thing. Oh, I think I'm gonna like Laura more on the show. I really think I am. And Jennifer as well. This looks like it's going to be a good redemption show. It looks like it's going to be very honest and real. Oh. And the next person we have is someone from the real world. Karamo. Karamo was the first open gay black male on television or on reality TV. And the thing was, this happened over 10 years ago, over 12 years ago, over like 14 years ago or whatever. And the issue with that was, at that time, as we know, it was really, I mean, he's black. He was talking about issues with his co-stars because they were, it's not necessarily that they were racist, but there was a lot of, they were ignorant. He was saying how they were ignorant. And so he spoke up about it, and middle America, people on TV who watched the show thought that he was racist. He thought that he didn't like white people. And I'm like, damn, this kind of feels like a Kanye West situation. Because a lot of people feel that Kanye West doesn't like white people. But that doesn't even make sense. But anyway, so he's just talking about how he's trying to rebrand himself. And he's on the Young Turks show. Claudia comes in and pitches this new idea to him. And she just talks about how, yeah, she was trying to be the peacemaker, didn't work out. But on to the next thing. I'm working on Carlos King with this new opportunity. I'd love for you to be a part of it. And let's move forward. And he's like, yeah, sounds good. And she was like, yeah, Laura's going to be on there. Jennifer Williams is going to be on there. So how do you feel about Jennifer Williams? It's like, she has great dresses. Great sundresses. I felt like it was like Aretha saying with Taylor Swift, she has great gowns, great evening gowns. But as we know, what's her name? Claudia doesn't like Jennifer, and Jennifer doesn't like Claudia. I'm still trying to figure out why. Aside from the whole Jennifer allegedly dating her boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend, there's no reason for them to not like each other, unless there was something else I missed. Let me know if I missed something there. But next we have Benzino, and Benzino's just talking about how, of course, we know he owned Hip Hop, what was it, Hip Hop Weekly? Yeah, and so, of course, he's trying to rebrand himself. People just know him as the hothead on TV, on Love and Hip Hop, and his relationship issues with Althea. But Althea's pregnant, and he's just trying to, again, rebrand himself, trying to create his business to where it's sustainable and can go on for a long time, and trying to make his relationship with Althea stronger. And that's nice. Benzino, he seems like a good guy, but he definitely seems like, again, a hothead, someone that will blow up at the dime of a hat. Drop of a dime. So, there is that. Then New York comes onto the scene. The reality queen herself, New York, comes onto the scene. Tiffany is back. We know her from Flavor of Love, Season 1 and 2. I Love New York. New York Goes Hollywood. I mean, there's just so many franchises, jump-offs. I mean, New York was ruling, reality TV for the early 2000s. I remember that. And I didn't even really watch reality TV, but I watched her. I was like, what is this? Who is she? Where has this been all my life? Yeah, it was actually, she was one of the main people that had me look at reality TV differently and say, damn, this is entertaining. So I'm glad that she's back. She's meeting up with the producer, and the producer's telling her that Carlos King wants to work with her on the show. And she's so happy. She's so grateful. She's like, she's ready to work. She's ready to put herself out there. And we're ready to see her, receive her. And I think this is the right platform, because it's about changing perception and image. And so I think for someone like her, who, it wasn't that she ever got cold, she just took time off. And as we know, taking time off is the devil in the entertainment world, because as soon as you're gone, you're gone. So Jennifer goes and she meets up with Albie Shore, you know, Star Jones' ex-husband, and Albie Shore is, of course, filling all up on Jennifer, and she's just like, all right, simmer down now. She's like, I don't know if he's gay, but he goes to a lot of gay places, and he's definitely questionable, and we're out in West Hollywood, and the rainbow flags are everywhere, so, yeah, I guess so. But I'm just like, all right, that's your friend. You're going to do him like that? Whatever. But she just talks about how she's working with Carlos King, and she's going to also have to work with Claudia Jordan. So it's like, how do you feel about Claudia Jordan? She's like, oh, she's talented. It's like, yeah, she's done dozens of people out in Hollywood. She's definitely the come-up queen. And I'm just like, this is just so messy, and it's like, damn, these grown people are so petty. So petty. So, after that, you have Claudia and Jennifer meet up because they're going to this going to this like orientation because Carlos King wants to see how the everyday person would feel about seeing these people on a new show. And so he invites everyone, and Claudia and Jennifer have this really generic fake, oh, hi, how are you, girl? Oh, screw you too, B. And it's just like, all right. So they're definitely not going to be friends. That's all right. Everyone isn't for everyone. And it's just like, I don't have a problem with you. I really don't have a problem with you. But I do have a problem with you. I think you're boring, fake, fraudulent. It's like, oh, I think you're a hoe. I think you're this or that. But it's just like, oh, So Karamo comes in next, and it's just like, hey, what's up, what's up? Everyone else is cool with each other. Everyone else is cool. So Carlos comes in and tells them what they're there to do, watch people react to them, and see what they have to say about the current image. And New York is arguing with the producers in the hallway because New York wore this long white floral gown, and she was upset because he's like, you didn't tell me that I couldn't wear this gown. Carlos King said I could wear this. And the issue is, because of the colors, she'll essentially disappear as far as the cameras are concerned. She'll be very blurry, and it just wouldn't work from a production value standpoint. And she's like, I'm not going in because I am not changing my dress. I was told I could do this, and you're not going to pull one over on me. You're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. So she walks out, and then we have the everyday Joes come in. They get told what they're going to be doing, and so then they bring up each person. The first one they bring up is Claudia. Immediately, it's like, oh, she looks like a man in that picture. She looks like a man. It's like, is she a transsexual? I'm just like, damn. Vicious. Vicious. So, the other thing, they were like, oh, I heard that she slept around with a lot of people. Okay. Yeah, so she's a hoe. She's a hoe. And after that, you get to Karamo, I believe. And as far as Karamo's concerned, they're thinking to themselves, okay. Carlos King says how he was the first openly gay black male on reality TV. And they're like, that's fine. We don't care that he's gay, but, well, is he bipolar? Does he have lupus? OCD? Something. You gotta give us something. He needs a niche, because that's not gonna be enough. And it's just like, what the hell's wrong with these people? For Benzino, they do the no neck, no neck. I'm just like, oh, damn. Why you gotta do Benzino like that? But the guy there, the black guy there, was like, you know what? I'm cool with Benzino. Him and Stevie J need a show together. They're very entertaining. So, and the girl with the white girl with the blue hair, who looked like she was on drugs, on downers or something, she was just like, you know, he's just not visually appealing. And then when they got to Jennifer Williams, immediately they were like, oh, is that her real eyes? And then they moved past that, from that, and they're like, okay, well, she was bougie, fake, boring. She needs to spice it up. I wouldn't let that man, how is she with that man? And it's like, look at her, look at him. And she was like, yeah, I agree. But, you know, when the D's good and it matches the money, of course you stay. I'm like, okay, so Jennifer, did you just admit that you were there? just because of sex and money. It's like, that's a marriage? Anyway, you go past that one, and the other black woman was like, well, I wouldn't let no woman talk to me or throw something at me. I'm not ghetto or anything, but I would defend myself. And we'll tell you how Jennifer responds to that later on. But after that, you have, who's next? You have Laura. And they're pretty cool with Laura. They're like, she seems like a cool chick. But the same black woman that was wearing the white shirt or dress, she was saying how, look, with her, what's wrong with her? She has all those kids. She's not married. What's wrong with her? What's her issue? What's her deal? I want to see the dynamics with her sister. That's a show. Her by herself? No. And it's just like, okay, so tell me how you really feel. And they're like, would you want to see all of them on a TV show? Did you want to see all of them on a TV show? And what they do next is Carlos brings the celebrities into the room with the people who were bashing them. It's interesting because everyone had this, okay, especially the black woman that was really going hard on almost everyone. She had this, oh crap, here we go, why'd I sign up for this type of thing. But I will say this, it was good to see them clap back in a classy way. Claudia was just like, did I represent myself as a hoe? So why are you calling me a hoe? Why did you think I was a hoe? And it was just like general perception of what was already being said. She's like, yeah, here's the thing. If you're in a relationship with someone and then they go and say that there's a list and this list contains everyone that you slept with in the entertainment industry, and some of the people on the list say, oh yeah, it happened, even if it didn't, or if they just don't say anything at all, then of course people are going to believe that person. Everyone's quick to call someone a hoe, call someone a slut. And then Karamo was just like, look, reality TV is, and before that, the girl with the blue hair was just like, well, I was homeless until recently, and you're saying I shouldn't do reality TV even though the money and the opportunity? Well, she was like, look, it's not as much money as you think it is, one. And two, and his most important part, do you want people to stalk you? Do you want people to break into your car? Do you want people to do all these things to you just for some fame? Just for some fame and potential opportunities. Karamo's just like, reality TV, the way how I did it was the devil. He came out on TV, he was open about his sexuality, he was around people who didn't support that, and also felt a certain way about him speaking up for black issues and calling him and deeming him a racist, and how that's messed his life up for a long period of time. Oh, side note, Karamo found out that he has a son, and his son's currently his assistant, and this happened because he came back from the reality show, and he had all these court stuff for back child support. He didn't know that he had a son. So his son was already kind of grown up by the time he stepped into the picture. But of course, they're cool now. They have a really close relationship. But Karamo's just like, it wasn't worth it to go through all that public scrutiny and for no money, didn't get paid a dime for it, by the way. Benzino's just like, look, I understand that my appearance and everyone's thought process on who looks good, who doesn't look good isn't the same. And the girl who said that Benzino known that and talked about his appearance, she was just like, I have to be honest, you look way better in person. And he was just like, oh yeah, baby, I understand. I know. And it just happens that way sometimes. And Jennifer started to talk, and she was just like, look, here's the thing. I could have acted the same way the women who were on my show acted, but I stayed true to me. I stayed classy and sophisticated, and if that came off boring, then that's fine. And of course, people started clapping. It was like, see, some people will appreciate classy over trashy. And it was funny because Jennifer was like, no, but I like you, Smurf. I like you, Smurfette over there, because you have my back. I appreciate it. Thank you. She was the only one that she liked, and it was interesting because then Karamo was like, you know what, I have to be real. Karamo and Benzino were like, look, I have to be honest. We were in there clowning you guys when you were clowning us. So I understand it's human nature to be opinionated, and sometimes I can come off as mean and rude, disrespectful. But we're human. Just because we're a celebrity, just because more people know our names, doesn't mean that we don't hurt, we don't bleed the same. And so I just want to let you guys know that that's what's going on with us. So, but it was cool. It was a really nice mix. I love how this show actually breaks the whole general fourth wall of, okay, you're actually watching a show. No, they'll talk to the camera. They'll talk to production. You actually get to see production set up and do all of that. It's not a situation where it's these close shots and you know there's like 10 people who are in production making sure everything's running smoothly while the reality stars go and talk. So I love that factor. I feel like this is on the same vein of the show, what was it called? Growing Up Hip Hop, which I also review, because it feels real and it feels authentic. I'm definitely going to watch it every week. I love that I get to see someone like Jennifer Williams and the other side of her personality that I feel like we partially saw when she was with Evelyn, but not as much as we maybe wanted to. So that was it. The last scene that came on was New York had to change. She wore an all-black dress and she was like, I'm back! And you know, the women, everyone gave her a hug, and she was like, yeah, the queen of reality TV is back. And everyone had this, like, what the hell type of look on their face. Not that they had an issue with New York, but just a general issue of, are we being set up right now? Are we being punked? It's like, all right, Tiffany, we all seen your antics, so let's go. So that's it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I'm excited for this show. I'm very excited for this show. Ew, that was gross. Super excited for this show. I will be reviewing it. I will be watching it every week. Every week on Wednesday at 9. I'm there. The next 15.